In the Skibidi toilet fandom, we've got some incredible creators. Some have good storylines and lore that are just unmatched by anyone, while some animations are so good that they could animate the new Marvel series. And don't even get me started on the characters. In this video, we'll be ranking the best Skibidi creators in every category. And yeah, Da Boom isn't number one in everything. Trust me, this one's gonna be interesting. Okay, let's start off strong with something visible, which is the best Skibidi creators when it comes to animation. Now, the first thing I'd say is that every creator has really good animation, and all of them kind of have their own unique style. However, there are three of them that definitely outshine the rest: Da Boom, Dom Studio, and Virence. When it comes to Da Boom, it is quite obvious that his animation is peak. I mean, he literally spends over 10 years on one scene, so why wouldn't it be? He also adds to the very last detail, or does he? Nonetheless, the fact that he's the background of what the others used means it's safe to say he's a good candidate here. When we look at Dom Studio, now things get a little bit tricky, as his animation style is quite different from the OG. In my opinion, it's a little bit brighter and has a lot more color, which makes it nice. And although I don't know a lot about animation and stuff, I'd say if Da Boom is... Okay, the first one was a bit too controversial, so let's talk about something where the winner stands above the rest: storytelling. I want to first mention that this one is quite different from lore or world building, but we'll get to that one in a sec. As far as story goes, I think the Monster series, OG, and Multiverse are the ones who stand out. I really like the twist of the Zombie series, and when it comes to episodes, I think it's very easy to understand. The only problem would be trying to identify the real villain in the show. It's a really good one. On Da Boom now, it has a good story no doubt, but I think Da Boom is the best when it comes to world building, which sadly isn't this category. I think the real winner for peak story is the Multiverse. I mean, the clocks really changed everything. It kind of fell off from the OG narrative and created its own, which makes it feel kind of special. I know you might say I'm glazing and all that, but hey, you yourself know what I'm talking about. The story is broad, but still kept simple. It has some loopholes here and there, but I still think it's the top. Now let's talk about villains. Which of these guys have the best villains? For this one, I would be excluding the Skibidi toilets, since they all later became allies in every series. The zombies are a really good threat. Their numbers are insane, and they're also crazy when it comes to individual strength. Also, the Plunge Doctor isn't really a bad villain pick, as he meets all the criteria to be the bad guy: backstory, attitude, and even looks. Now, I want to say that this category would be judged partially on strength and the other on characteristics. The Astros are pretty broken as well, but their motive for doing this much damage isn't quite clear yet, and that's their only drawback. Dom is also pretty good at his stuff, Sinister Alpha's master and all of that. Now, this one's really difficult to rule due to the fact that the three are very close. However, because of its style, I'd say the Monster series takes this one. And damn, Virence is still a monster in this category, but yeah, it doesn't beat the top. Now let's talk about fight scenes, because this is where all the action actually takes place. Now, this one's really tricky, as we have all of Dom, Virence, Boom, and Monster up dragging this spot. Boom's scenes are pretty good, but the action seems kinda slow compared to the others. Now don't get me wrong, they're actually good, but it lacks that flashy vibe, you know, anime fight scene style. I guess this is on Da Boom, and he doesn't want to make it this way. Not that he can't, it's just he doesn't want to do it. Monster up now, and my gosh, this is where action is actually displayed in detail. It's kinda weird though, seeing our big guys fight like agents, but it's pretty cool. For Dom, all I'd say is that they are pretty decent. Their fight scenes can be all over the place. Most times they are peak, but sometimes, well, not really the best. Same thing for Virence, but I think Dom's is much better. Now, the real challengers here are both the Multiverse and Zombie. This one's not 100% accurate, but Monster Up would be taking fight scenes. Okay, now let's chill up a bit and talk about something fun. Which series has the best funny moments of them all? Now, I would be including bloopers and troll leaks, since they are also part of what makes the show interesting. And since that's the case, we all know the ones we are looking at. This is between Dom and Da Boom. Now, bloopers, they are quite hilarious, showing stuff behind the camera. And damn, do you guys remember this guy? The director camera? He was my favorite. Bloopers aren't really that crazy, but they were fun to watch. Troll leaks, however, were just nuts. They were both hilarious and outrageous at the same time. I mean, look at this. Boom doesn't really hold back to show us this stuff. And even in the series, there are a lot of funny things that were also quite questionable. Virence also did one that caught a lot of attention, including me as well. But yeah, Da Boom is the king of this kind of stuff. He definitely takes this one. For Suous moments, we have this, this, and a lot more. But do you notice something? Most of the examples are from the OG series. Yeah, Da Fook Boom also takes this one. Let's talk about lore and world building. Now, I don't really know a lot about these kinds of stuff, but I think the entire Skibidi community would come at me if I mentioned anyone else than Da Fook Boom. Like I said, I can't really say anything here, since I can't even piece out the entire lore thingy for you guys to understand. Damn, it seems Boom is storming through, and I think he's also going to be taking this next one. Consistency and continuity. Da Fook Boom has been really consistent. I mean, playing Roblox, like, when do episodes even drop? We never know. It could be 6 months after the last one, which, yeah, is not what the community wants. We could also say the same thing about Dom, but he does upload longer videos, which makes him quite forgivable. Now, I don't know what's holding Virulence, because that guy focused on other stuff. When it comes to true consistency, it's no doubt it will be going to Monster Up. Even despite the drought, they keep posting every week non-stop, and still doing a beautiful job on animation. They sometimes post community stuff and do other things to keep the audience engaged. And honestly, I really love that. Monster Up takes the consistency category. Characters is a completely different and also hard-to-rule category. Here, we have to take into consideration all the characters in every series. We have people like The Glitch, Plungerman, TV Titan, Clock Titan, POV from Monster Up, Camera Titan, G-Man, and the others that really make up their respective shows. However, if we're talking about the series with the most fan-touching and loved characters, I'd say it's the OG series. I mean, every death of a good character makes us cry. Well, maybe not all of them, but the majority at least. I think it's because they were the ones we knew first, making them a huge part of our hearts when watching the show. Characters, I'd give to the OG series. Okay, now how about the series with the best power system? Yeah, this one. I wouldn't be talking about balance and all that. I'm talking about the most powerful verse. Now, I should be mentioning just Dom and Virulence, since the others aren't really that crazy when it comes to strength. Virulence has huge characters that are equipped with lots of upgrades, but that's not all, since they are also monsters themselves, with all of them having the potential to rival the Tri-Titan. However, this isn't really a one-sided battle, as when we look at Dom Studio, we also see power at its greatest level, with characters being able to stop or destroy multiple planets without much trouble. Honestly, you can't go wrong with both of them, but for the sake of plot, let's just give this one to Virulence. Yeah, they should win at least one thing. Click on this video on your screen right now.